Good afternoon from Bali, everyone. It's Nifa Menon from hearthealthbrainhealth.com, encouraging healthy grieving and mindful actions. Today, I thought I would create this video about leadership and time management. So leadership, of course, we can be leaders in a family, leaders of a group, leaders in our workplaces. So anywhere we can be leaders, and many of us are. And time management becomes something of central importance for leaders. So I thought I'd today talk about the Eisenhower Matrix, and some of you might have heard of this. For those of you that haven't, I hope that today's video is useful for you. This matrix, the purpose of this matrix was created to help individuals effectively manage their time by identifying which tasks need immediate attention and which can be scheduled or delegated. And so again, what needs an immediate attention and focus of our attention, and what could be delegated or rescheduled. Now 4 quadrants are in this matrix, so it's literally 4 different quadrants. That's all it is 4 quadrants on this matrix. And it says in quadrant 1, which is the upper right, that's the urgent and important. This is recommended to do first. The second quadrant is the lower right, and this is urgent, not urgent, and important. It is not urgent, but it is important. So we've got the urgent and important at the top, and then not urgent, but important at the bottom of that second quadrant. And then the third quadrant is the upper left, and this is urgent, but not important. Urgent, but not important. And the fourth quadrant, which is the lower left, is not urgent and not important. And you can imagine that quadrant 2, which was the not urgent but important, we can schedule for this. And then the third quadrant, which was urgent but not important, delegate this. So as a leader, you likely have lots of people that you could delegate this to, or at least one person that you could delegate a task to, which is, again, it's urgent but not important. And then the lower left, which was not urgent and not important, you could actually eliminate this. If it's not urgent and it's not important, why does it feel like a task to be done? So not urgent, not important could be eliminated. And that could be, the other idea is rescheduling. That can be rescheduled for another time. So eliminating from now. Very important to think of this, because a lot of us, a lot of society has confused urgency and importance. And it's interesting that this quotation by Dwight Eisenhower says this: what is important is seldom urgent, and what is urgent is seldom important. So important for us to remember this. And I say it's important. Perhaps you would think it's not urgent. Again, what is important is seldom urgent, and what is urgent is seldom important. And this is something that we can look at, that a lot of times, the reason I'm also even making this video is because in my last newsletter to clients and to anyone who was reading it, I was very particular about this video is going to come out very soon to talk about this aspect, that we do often get lost in the stream of information that comes at us from so many sources today, and then that we ourselves actually check in on. So if we're getting little pings on our phones to remind us about appointments or something coming up, or someone emailing us or anything, we're drawn to it. And then, is that urgent and is it important, is really important for us to figure out. So of course, many times people will say just turn off the phone, and people are so often worried about missing something important. Is it important, or is it urgent? That, oh, if the boss contacts me and I don't respond, that's urgency because I might lose my job. Important that if that is part of your work and you need to be that accessible, it is important. And yet, perhaps you can organize it in a way that your boss, it knows that in this time I don't look at my phone, so I'm trying to be very focused on the work that I'm doing, that sort of idea. Then you understand what is important and urgent for you. And this is something that many people have forgotten. I thought this quotation was quite good too, because whether I'm here in Bali, whether it was my time in Thailand, or whether it's in Canada, I do see this consistency too. This quotation says, we live in an almost perfect stillness and work with incredible urgency. We live in an almost perfect stillness and work with incredible urgency. And again, I see this. And here in Bali, I find that a lot of times it's ceremonies that are the urgencies that have to get here. And it's urgent or important, or I won't think for others, but somehow there is some of that energy in this is what to wear to this sort of event. And this is the time to be there. This is the next time to be there. This is the something that I would say that a lot of religious traditions have have always practiced, that it's always, oh, this is an important date, so you have to be there for this. So that could be some celebrations like Christmas and Easter, or it could be an Eid, or it could be a particular birthday of some leader. That all of that has become very important. Or it could be a death. It could be, this is important. And it might be urgent too, because, oh, you know what, I really need to go to that because of what? We are in this space of urgency. We're in this mode of everything feels urgent and important. And unless we sit down to actually analyze and reflect on what is urgent and what is important for us, we will actually just get pulled along by things that we think are both. And I thought that this was a really good way to think about this idea too with this quotation. This quotation is by Stewart Brand, and it says, "The urgent finds you. You have to find the important. Importance is not fast. It is slow. It is not superficial. It is deep. And as a result, it's extremely powerful. When important matters go wrong, they undermine everything. When they go right, they sustain everything." And I so believe this. I can say that, again, my entire time in this time away from Canada so far, at least to this moment, has focused on what is important to my values, to this mind's values, to what I feel is very important in this life experience, in this soul's life experience, in this journey. And I've been really fortunate to be able to focus on that and feel that what is important is always being addressed. What is urgent seems to be anything that could come up that suddenly takes my attention and may be urgent. I've been very, very blessed in my time away that much less seems urgent, and it's much easier for me to prioritize the things that are important for me. Yet this was a practice that I had already begun in Oakville in Canada, and I'm continuing here and really honoring this process. Today I will post that newsletter that I mentioned just under this video, so that anyone who wants to read about something similar and the reason that I've made this video, feel free to read that newsletter and certainly give me any feedback if you'd like to share something positive. I'd prefer it to be positive, of course. If you have to get something off your chest about something not positive, then please do so too, only for your relief. And the other aspect is just to share some kindness. Today, I would love for us all to focus on what is important and understand what is urgent and work with the important. Because again, I wrote something that I wanted to make sure if we focus on what is important, we're actually encouraging what is fulfilling and growth oriented for ourselves. And this is not a short-term task, and this is why this is something that's slower and deeper. This is one of those things that is a lifetime work in progress. And so when we know that we're focusing on what is important, we know that it's much more fulfilling, and it actually does lead to sustained growth. And this is what I would encourage for all of us. Today, I hope you have a fantastic day or night ahead, and I hope you reflect on these ideas, and I hope you remember, transform your mind and transform your life. Have a great day or night, everyone.